Hey everyone, welcome back. Our pressure cooker, our quick cooker is done. So it did end and I did release the pressure, which there's a button here on top. If you press it, it will automatically open up the valve to allow the steam to release. And there is a red button here that it's not going to let you open the lid until the pressure is sufficiently low enough. And this red button on top will depress, and that's when you know you can open it. So I'm going to remove it. Just going to be careful because I know there's going to be steam, and then there's also going to be condensation from the lid. So when I take it off, I'm going to lift it off and immediately turn it over. And then I'm going to set it on a stool over here that I have. Okay. Just so that way, you know, we avoid getting any of that mess. So I'm just going to give this a mix here. Ooh, it's hot. It smells great. Obviously the cream cheese is melted. The spinach is no longer frozen. So what we're going to do from this point is we're going to add in our mix-ins, which if you remember, was a half a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, and I'm using my petite measure here. And what you'll notice, you know, usually with things like Greek yogurt or sour cream or that type, you would have to then use a spatula to get it out. But with this measure cup, you just kind of push all your ingredients right out. Give it a little taparoo there. You're left with just the bottom. So basically you just scrape it off and you've gotten all your ingredients out. So that is, that besides the fact that I can measure both liquid and solid measures in it at the same time for the same recipe are two reasons why I love that. So now I'm also going to add in our 4 ounces of our grated aged cheddar, and I use some Kerrygold Blarney Castle aged cheddar, which my husband and I actually went to Blarney Castle a couple years ago when we were in Ireland, so I thought it was fitting. So we're gonna mix all those and give that cheese a second to kind of melt in there. And this is obviously going to thicken up the longer that you let it sit. So what the actual recipe calls for is once you add in your add-ins, just let the dip sit for a few minutes to thicken before serving. So what I'm going to do, since I'm not actually serving anyone right now, is just go ahead so we can show you how it's going to look, is just transfer it to our serving dish. So just be really careful when you're handling this stainless steel dish. It's going to be really, really hot. So I'm using one of our silicone oven mitts. It comes in a set of 2. You could also use your microwave oven grips. Those would probably work as long as you feel like it's going to give you enough coverage. I think I can handle this with one hand, especially with me going to immediately pouring it out into this into the bowl here. But, you know, if you need to, this does come in a set of 2. So just make sure you be careful because this is warm. It's actually not too hot, but it is warm. So you just want to make sure you're careful. So, and you can see that that makes quite a large amount of your spinach and artichoke dip. And that's it. I emptied that out there. I don't want to get my quick cooker dirty. Sorry. Move this up to the sink. And I will be adding water to that pretty quickly, just to keep that from becoming harder to clean. But so what I'm going to do now is just sprinkle a little extra of the Greek rub on top, Just helps to make it look pretty. If you had a little garnish like a pimento, pimentos would be pretty on top if you were doing this for a holiday party. But that really was super simple to come together. Really talk about the epitome of a one-pot meal with really minimal prep. The only prep that we had was just to chop up those artichoke hearts, but I think you can probably find those already chopped free in the grocery store. And then shredding our cheddar. If you didn't want to, for whatever reason, shred your cheddar, you could use pre-shredded, and then rather than a baguette, use some chips. And so you're not really prepping anything. You're just pouring everything into here, mixing it, and you are good to go. So let me bring this forward here just so you can see it. Sorry about that random noise there. So there you go. And obviously I can't put it too far forward or it'll be a disaster. But like I said, the longer that sits, it's definitely gonna good grief. I'm making a racket over here. The longer it sits, it's definitely gonna thicken up for you, especially as it cream cheese and the cheddar and all that kind of thickens. But I'm gonna give it a little taste. I think I probably would have preferred this with like those, they make the Rita's pita chips, like that come in the bag, something like that, rather than the bread. But this is what I found, so I was kind of trying to get in and out of the grocery store. So we're gonna give this a try. There's really good flavor with that Greek rub. And plus, it was really simple. This would make a really great appetizer to have out on your table. Definitely guest-pleasing, vegetarian, because we use that vegetable stock. So that's a plus as well for any of your vegetarian guests. Something that they can definitely indulge in. So it's a really good recipe. I hope you give it a try. Our quick cooker definitely can make every meal simple, from appetizers to breakfast to dinner, lunch, dessert. So I hope you enjoyed this. I will post a slide for this recipe, but it is available as well on pamperedchef.com. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.